Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Thanks so much for stopping by today. It's that time already. Can you believe it? It's time for the November TBR. The end of the year is fast approaching. I can't believe it. But yeah, so November's here almost, and I thought about not doing a TBR this month because my October has been so crappy. But I said maybe it'll help me, get back into the swing of things if I actually make a TBR. So I'm going to do it. Plus, I want to take part, of course, in an event this month. So let's get started. I'm going to start, as usual, with my sort of book club stuff and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll do that first. So the Stephen King read-along that we've been doing, gosh, over a year now? How long have we been doing that? We discussed these over on Brad Proctor's Discord. And I'm spinning the wheel these days to randomly select a King book for us. And the wheel for November has spun Insomnia. This is one I have not read, so I'm always excited when we get one I hadn't read yet, so I can finally get to it. And I think, this does take place in Derry, so that's kind of exciting. But I think it definitely is like sort of this insomnia is sweeping the town. I'm not really quite sure. I hadn't read too much about it. I don't really want to read much about it. It's a slightly chunky one, so I'll definitely probably do the audiobook. I like a lot of King's audiobooks, but it's close to 800 pages, so yeah, I need to dig into that one pretty soon to make my way through. But just gonna take my time with it, and it sounds, I'm gonna go in optimistic with this one. So, all right. And the book club pick for Rachel over at the Shades of Orange, her Patreon book club, every quarter. Is that how we're doing it now? I think we're picking we're picking a sci-fi book, and so this is one of our sci-fi months. I'm making sense. We're going to be digging into Ancillary Justice by Ann Leckie. This is a book I've been wanting to read for a while now, so again, very excited. And it's always fun to read, with a group of folks. So real quickly, just on a remote icy planet, the soldier known as Breck, how you say it, is drawing closer to completing her quest. Once she was the Justice of Torin, a colossal starship with an artificial intelligence linking thousands of soldiers in the service of the Ratch, the empire that conquered the galaxy. Now an act of treachery has ripped it all away, leaving her with one fragile human body, unanswered questions, and a burning desire for vengeance. Always love a good vengeance tale, right? So yeah, I've heard really great things about this series. So this is book 1, so we're gonna dig into that. So yeah, I am excited. It's got a great cover too. I love these. I love that. All right, so yay. Okay, so the From Hell Book Club, this of course is hosted by Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books. Of course, I will link all the channels I mentioned. I always link them below. She runs the From Hell Book Club, where she read vintage horror. And this month is Bats by William H. Johnstone. I got this one on my Kindle, so I'll definitely try to dig into this one also. It sounds fun. It's a book about bats. I mean, what more you need to know, right? So yeah. Okay, so we do have one more book left of the Castile series by V.C. Andrews. Again, Kelly's hosting this, and I think she's going to skip this one. Like she's had her feel of the Castile family, but I'm going to go ahead and try to finish it out with Web of Dreams. This is book 5, and I think it's more of a prequel, so we're going back in time to spend some time with the characters. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, what's next? Okay, so I think that's all of my book club stuff. I got a couple of other things. There are a couple of other things going on. So there was nonfiction November. I want to try to at least read one nonfiction book. I do have this that I had planned to read this year. It's already November. I haven't read it yet. So let's try to get it done. America's First Serial Killer, Jane Topham and the Making of a Monster. This is by Mary K. McBrayer. And Behind the Mind of a Deadly Poisoner. So always cheerful and sweet, Jane was the last person you would suspect to administer a dose of death. So countless patients sought treatment and ended up dead. No one suspected foul play due to the shortcomings of medicine in the late 1800s. But behind her jolly mask, there was a monster years in the making. Da, 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 da. So yeah, that sounds pretty interesting, actually. I think we think of sort of serial killers and things. It is often hard to imagine women being so monstrous, right? So I think this will be interesting. So I'm looking forward to kind of learning more about the story and what's going on with Miss Jane, right? So all right. Okay, so one extra book before I get into the readathon. I do want to make my way into Poking Holes by Juan Valencia, Our Dear Plagued by Visions. I keep looking at this cover; it's so good. This is his short story collection, so I want to dig into it this month, and this will be my short story pick for the month, and I can't wait. I've heard good things so far, and I'm excited. Okay, so that's just a bonus. And then there's another one I forgot. I do have a arc that I need to get to, probably right here in the beginning of the month, because it does come out November 8th, and it is an anthology. It's called Into the Forest, Tales of the Baba Yaga, and I'm fascinated with Baba Yaga personally. I love that lore, and so I requested this right away, and procrastinated on it, of course, like you do. So I'm gonna try to get to that kind of first of the month and see how that is. I think it's gonna be fun. So yeah, so that's it for kind of non-readathon stuff. So our dear friend Kelsey over at Slime and Slashers is hosting Nostalgic November. She did this last year where it was more of a 90s theme, but she's kind of rounding out to a more overall nostalgic feel for this year. And she's got some fun prompts, and I definitely want to try to join in the best I can. I do have a book picked for everything, but I'm easing back into it, guys. So we'll see what I get to. I'm not pressuring myself or anything, but again, I love making lists. I love planning, so at least I wanted to pick some books. So, and several of these are rollovers from my October TBR that I just really wanted to get to, but just really didn't. So you'll have seen some of these before, but what are you going to do? All right, so prompt number 1, a book featuring older technology on the cover or in the story. I really liked this prompt. I thought it was really cool, but I struggled a little bit trying to pick something. So I went with Scan Lines by Todd Kiesling. This is a short one. Can't go wrong with short, right? And as you can see, the cover itself, well, it's pretty brutal, but it does look like sort of an old VHS tape, and there is a I think a videotape kind of woven throughout the story, and so sort of urban legend kind of thing, right? Yeah, so I really loved, I'm not gonna think of the book now, by Todd Kiesling. So I've been wanting to read more by him from that other book that I read by him that I really loved. Anyway, okay, number 2 is a book about books, or that features, authors, or something about writing, or set in a library, or a bookstore. She gave us lots of options on that one, and I thought I'd go a little different with this one, and I picked up a middle grade book for this one. This is called Mr. Limoncello's Library. I think this is a series, so this will be book 1. And it sounds like it's got kind of Willy Wonka vibes. So this guy named Mr. Limoncello he's a game maker, and he has built the town's library. And so there's this kind of opening thing where the kids, I guess his kids, are getting locked into the library, and they have to get out using kind of their wits and things like that. It sounds like fun. It sounds like kind of a little puzzle and games to get out of this library. It sounds kind of fun, and it takes place in a library, and there's books on the cover, so it works. Okay, number 3 is a book with a female protagonist or written by a female author. Another rollover. I really want to get to My Heart is a Chainsaw. Why haven't I read this yet? I don't know. So this is, of course, by Stephen Graham Jones. I know that there's a girl in here, Jade, who is our main character. And, I want to read this book. I don't know why I haven't read it. I think Indigithon is taking a break this year, but I do like to try to read an Indigenous author in November for Native American Heritage Month here in the U.S. So I have a couple on my list. But yeah, so can I get to this, please? I want to. Okay. All right, number 4, a book with magic or magical elements or magical items, wizards, sorcerers, witches. You get the deal. I could probably use that Baba Yaga anthology for this, but I'm going to roll over Slewfoot by Brahm, because again, I didn't read it in October, but I really want to read it. This is definitely witchy vibes, and so let's get to it this month. We'll see. Okay, the next one is a book published in 2000 or earlier, or set in the 90s. And I'm actually going to plug in Web of Dreams for this one. It was published, I looked it up, but now I have forgotten, in 1990. So I'm just going to use that one for that. Okay, next one is a book set at or around Christmas or Halloween. And this these prompts are themed off of like nostalgic things, which I have not been mentioning, but this one was themed off of Nightmare Before Christmas. So I went with the Halloween time because I didn't get to Benny Rose the Cannibal King by Haley Piper. This is set around Halloween, and I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't read it. Well, I know why. I was in a funk. But I want to, even though Halloween will have passed by the time I read it, it's close enough. It's going to give me Halloween vibes. So I'm going to go for Benny Rose, The Cannibal King by Haley Piper. Another shorty, so I think I can knock it out. Okay. The next one is a book featuring nature on the cover or in the story somehow. Another rollover. We're going to go with Autumn Gothic by Brian Boyer. It's got some pretty leaves on the cover here. And there's a skeleton. I mean, that's kind of nature, right? But the leaves. I'm going with the leaves for this one. And there's some more leaves up here. So, again, I just want to get to it. It is also part of the India Chords Choose Your Path books that I have to have finished by, I think, December. So yeah, I need to read this, and I want to read it. Okay, so the next one is a coming of age a coming of age story where a child has to like triumph over evil or something like that. And another rollover, I'm gonna go with Joseph Bruchack's Nightwings. This is an indigenous story. Joseph Bruchack is of Abenaki heritage, and this kind of demon here looks cool. I think he's sort of like haunts dreams and or nightmares rather. This winged creature, and so there's a kid named Paul who I think is doing what he can to defeat it. So I think it sounds really great. And this is a middle grade book also. Middle grade I think is a good way to kind of get out of a funk because they are often fun to read and of course are short. And I've been wanting to read more Bruchack, so let's read this one. Okay, next one is a retro or vintage mood read. You see a theme here. It's a rollover from October because I did really want to get to Wait Till Helen Comes by Mary Downing Hahn, and I didn't. So this is definitely retro. It was published in 1986, and it's a story about a ghost. So I mean, seems perfect, and I want to read it. So I'm gonna. Okay, the next one is more of a bonus prompt, but I went ahead and picked something for it. It's a book with neon on the cover. You guessed it. It's another rollover. Trick or Treat by Richie Tankersley Klesick. It's got this awesome neon orange lettering here. And also takes place on Halloween time. So if I need to kind of fill that in for that prompt, I can. But I just wanted to get to this, and it'll be close enough to Halloween for this to still be fun, I think, to read. So I'm just going to put it on the stack just in case. This is of course a point horror book. It just sounds fun. So I mean, it's an evil house. Someone's moving into a new house and it's haunted probably. So, I mean, what more can you ask for, really? So that's it. Not a giant TBR like I've been in the past. So I think it's manageable, especially when you throw in, I make an audiobook, some of these, and that'll help me out also. So yeah, let me know what you're reading in November. Are you doing any readathons? You doing the nonfiction November? Are you doing the nostalgia November? I know there's a few others floating around out there, but I'm taking it easy this month. I'm taking it easy this month, and because there might be something special coming in December, so keep an ear out. But yeah, so that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye.